Hey there, my name is Bren Vandersweg. I'm the president of Gutterexperts.com and founder of Gutter-Con, held in Denver, Colorado, just the 1st of May in 2022. I'd like to introduce my guest for today, Marci Torres of Gutter Girl in Pasco, Washington on the West Coast. Marci started her business in 2019 and has been in the gutter industry for 8 years now. Marci, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
We met each other, kind of funny situation, wasn't it? Do you remember?
Yeah, I do.
It was very chaotic.
Yes.
Okay, so you came to GutterCon. You were one of the late people that signed up, probably like just a week before, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And I think you were the first woman that I had signing up for.
Oh.
Yeah, you were the first. Now there was one other, but you were the first. So I was kind of excited about that.
Oh, nice.
And if you remember, the night before the conference started, which was Thursday night, there was 20 of us that got together and we went to an NHL game. We had a skybox rented, and you were one of the lucky ones that bought a ticket for that, right?
Yes.
So yeah, but it was so stressful for me that very first night because I didn't really meet anyone yet. And I was trying to get this hockey game going where I had a rental vehicle there. We were all trying to get over to the hockey game. We were trying to deal with tickets, you remember? And,
yes, I
and you came to me, and I don't know, did you actually have the ticket yet? Because it was all electronic tickets, right?
No, I didn't have it. I had to figure out how to.
Oh, it was just nuts. I'm so stressed thinking about it. Oh. Anyway, so my computer was dying. I was in the lobby of the hotel, plugged in, and I said, you were going to get an Uber, and I'm like, I'm going over. I'll take you over. Remember? And then you actually said, I'm leaving. I can't wait. The game's starting. I don't know what you thought, but I was the guy you were waiting for. Anyway, but wasn't that first night, that hockey game, wasn't that awesome?
It was fun. It was really fun.
Are you a hockey fan?
Yeah. I am.
You are? Who's your team?
Well, I go for our Tri-City Americans here local. So I like to go watch them. And
who?
Tri-City Americans is just a local team.
Oh, it's not like an NHL team.
Oh, no.
You're in Washington. You guys got a team. Capitals, isn't it? Washington Capitals? Like Ovechkin?
I am not sure.
I think I don't really follow hockey, but I'm pretty sure you guys got a pretty good team in Washington.
We probably
Unless
do.
It's Washington, D.C. Is it Washington, D.C., do you think?
Could be.
Oh, I can't believe my son would just be laughing his head off at me right now. I have no idea. I don't know. He tells me actually tonight, he just left here. He was here for dinner, and he's going home because the first game of the playoffs is tonight.
Oh, okay.
And actually, the team, just so that you know, I don't know if you follow this, but the team that we watched that night, Denver or Colorado Avalanche, they're in the playoffs. So,
nice.
And the captain of that, I don't know if he's the captain, but the star player of that team, Nathan McKinnon, is from my hometown.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah, it is. Well, yes. Same as Sidney Crosby, too. Do you
know
that name?
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I guess you're not a hockey fan then, obviously.
No, I just our local team don't have time.
Well, that's cool. So listen, I always like starting off seeing where you are. So you're on the West Coast, whereabouts in Washington? Like the one city I know in Washington is Seattle, right?
Yeah, so we're about 4 hours away from Seattle.
Okay, cool. And how big of a town are you in?
Honestly, I'm not sure what the population is. It's been growing quite a bit here.
Yeah, but I mean, are we talking like 1 million or 100,000?
Probably about 1 million people, I would say.
So a good size then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, and it's still growing so much. So yeah, it's nice.
Good. So, like I said, like I was just gonna say, I always like to start off just asking, and we have to make a comment for people that weren't at GutterCon, why you're dressed like this, because your company name is Gutter Girl and you have special powers, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, and so you showed up at GutterCon with this cape on,
Yeah,
and well, I think it was a big hit.
yeah,
And you actually wear this everywhere, don't you?
yeah, I do. I do. To my estimates, to events, anything. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we'll talk a little bit more about Gutter Girl later, but listen, so you're not that old. You must be, are you even in your 30s yet?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we won't ask you your age, but you're in your 30s and you've been in the business for 8 years or in the industry. So what did you do before you got in the gutter business?
I was an insurance agent before I got the gutter industry.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at a high school or at a college, you just became an insurance agent?
I became an insurance agent once my son, when he started going to preschool.
Yeah.
I needed something because I had been kind of a stay-at-home mom,
Yeah.
young or little, but then I decided that I needed to find something to do with myself while he was at school. And then I had this offer from a local agent here, and he offered me to, pay for me to go to school and get licensed, and he would train me to, sell insurance. So
Yeah.
I really loved doing that.
Yeah.
And when I did that, it was an offer that I never thought I would be an insurance agent, but I'm like, well, they're going to train me. They're going to pay for my training.
Yeah.
I lose, So I really love doing that kind of thing. And
Was it like selling house insurance and car insurance, like everything?
yeah.
Okay.
I like to educate people. So it was really heartbreaking to see so many people filing claims. People think that insurance will cover anything that happens to their property at any given time. And that is just not the case. And so I would always give the bad news to them. And so
I know this too, because I went through a period of my career, in my working life, where I was an insurance contractor. So I did flood and fire damage. And there was a lot of days where we'd show up at floods, and you would understand this. The insurance adjuster would be saying, well, is there a drain in the floor? You have to have a drain, like the water had to come in through a drain, not through a window, not through a door. So I totally get that. That was tough.
Yeah. So I found that I'm like, I need to come up with something where I can educate people of why they need to protect their investment. And so I started kind of doing my own research, and here we are.
Yeah. So you went from insurance to gutters. How did that happen?
So actually, it's funny the way it all worked out, because I never applied for this insurance job, right? But I got all the training, all the schooling involved to get licensed, paid for. And then once I learned everything and got to see the claims, like I just really started having all these ideas. I'm like, well, people need to be educated and like know why they need gutters. And at that time, my son's dad, who was my fiance at the time, was a gutter installer for another company here local. And that's when I kind of started looking into gutters, because before, I knew he was an gutter installer, but I was like, well, why do people do gutters? And I was like, that's why, that's why I went through all this training and got to see all the sides of claims, because this is what I'm called to do, to educate people and tell them why they need them. So then
Washington is you guys are kind of known. At least Seattle, I think you guys are kind of known for a lot of rain in that neck of the woods, aren't you?
Seattle area, yes. Where I'm from, typically it doesn't rain very often, but I feel like the last few years that has changed
Mhm.
significant. So, yeah.
Mm, okay.
Yeah.
So you had a fiance. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, you're gone from our video. There you are. You're back.
Sorry.
You're back.
There. Okay.
So you had your boyfriend at the time. You had a child, and you guys were like getting married, and he was working for a gutter company. And then you guys decide to start your own gutter company.
So he had been in a relationship. He had been separated for 4 years. He
Yeah.
had been in a relationship and broke up with that, girl he was dating. And then he kind of came back to me once he was like losing everything. He was getting ready to lose his house. He was so back, like house payments. He lost his truck and he ended up having to get like a cheaper truck because he couldn't afford the one he had before.
Yeah.
So I was, you know what, we put that truck on the market to see if we could sell it, outside someone. Nobody wanted to buy that. So I was like, you know what, if I have this truck, I think we really need to start a gutter business. And he was just like, a gutter business? I'm like, yeah, like this, I feel like this is what we need to do. We already have the truck. We just need a trailer. We need the machine and all the equipment. And so I started doing.
How old were you at this point in time?
That was 8 years ago. So 20, like 26, 20.
Oh, so you're 34.
33. I'm 33. So I was,
you just told us your age.
yeah, I don't even know. I think I got stuck at 21. Sometimes people ask me, how old are you? 21.
Yeah, you wish, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we started doing research on, the machines and everything needed.
And he was already working for another gutter company at the time, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how did that go over when he made the jump to go out on his own?
Honestly, by the time he made the jump, I already had him booked out for like 3 months.
Oh, really?
I had logo I had worked on. And so by the time we rolled everything out, like we already had a whole brand of like just marketing materials and everything.
Okay.
We put the trailer and so completely like working even Saturdays and Sundays at the time.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
And the company that he worked for, are they still in business?
I don't think they are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't think
So how are things with you and your fiance then running the business? How long did that go on for?
So we ran the business together for almost 4 years.
Yep.
And
Did well?
we did, but I had to decide to, end it because he was very abusive. And I got to work for the company. I never got a paycheck, never got paid for my work. But, he would always say like, you're worthless, you don't do anything. But I was the one running that company and making sure that he had work nonstop. So
yeah.
I started thinking, I'm the one that if there's no marketing, there's no work. And I'm like, I'm doing all of this for someone that really, we're not even married. We have a child together, but I'm doing all of this for someone that doesn't even appreciate it. And I had told him before, I'm like, either you get your stuff together or I'm going to go and I'm going to open my own company. And I never thought I actually would have to say that the day came when I would go and open my own company, but it did. And I walked away from everything we had built. He kept everything. And all I kept was the debt from when we started his company. And I started my company by basically selling t-shirts. I started doing like flips, like flipping houses, because I knew the people that would do the work, the labor of like painting, all kinds of stuff. So then I would sell that service. have people come in and do the work, and then I would basically for, the job. And
Wow.
so
So did you start your gutter business right away, or you were flipping houses for a bit?
I did flipping houses for a minute, and then I was doing gutter installations here and there. I was subcontracting my work to someone else.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So then until I got my own machine, and then I really started, once I saved up enough money to buy my own machine, truck and everything, then I had my own crew.
I see.
So
Okay. So what did you buy for a machine? Like a 5-6 inch combo, or a 5 inch or 6 inch?
just a 5 inch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is that mainly what you guys run right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's been 4 years since you started your business?
3.
3 years. You started just before COVID.
Just before COVID.
Perfect timing. Actually, it probably wasn't bad timing, was it?
No, it actually wasn't. I
Yeah.
think even though we couldn't work for, I think it was like 5 or 6 months.
Mhm.
In August, when we were able to open back up, I feel like we were a bunch of work
Yeah. So let
it's-
me ask you this. You said you were shut down for 5 or 6 months?
Yeah.
Really? I mean,
Yeah.
in where we were, and I just assumed where you guys are too, like construction, you were able to go out and work. Like we shut down for like 3 weeks, and just until when it first happened, we just shut it down, and for 2 weeks, and then we had another week. It was actually like spring break for the kids. We call it March break here in Canada. And then after that, we just went back to work. And for us, we never missed a beat, but you were actually sitting at home for 5 or 6 months.
Yeah.
Wow. Was the rest of the country like that?
Well, I think there was a lot of, even though here they told us we couldn't work, we had to be shut down, but there was a lot of construction people still out there working, and they were being fined, but they were still out there. I was just like, you know what? With everything I had gone through with my son's dad, and like, I really wanted to take that time to do some like healing, so
Mhm.
that opened back up, that I'd be like 100% ready to go. And,
Yeah. And
so
did your ex keep running during those 5 or 6 months, or did he shut down too?
he kept going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was busy. Once you got started, you had a lot of work in the hopper ready to go, huh?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And what do you think? What do you think got your, like, how did you start getting work? I mean, I guess you were flipping houses, you were getting work already, you were doing some gutters, and you just
Yeah.
kept building on that, right? Were you wearing a cape at that point in time?
No, I wasn't. I actually took about a year to even come up with my whole logo for my company.
Mhm.
I was gutter girl from the beginning, but in the beginning, I didn't have my truck wrapped or anything,
Yeah.
just because I wanted a certain design and I wanted it to stand out. And so it took me a while to come up with all the details, how I wanted it done. And so I hear from like clients or people, like, you can see that thing from the moon. It's really bright. So
What's your website?
it's waguttergirl.com.
WA Gutter. You couldn't get Gutter Girl.
No.
No, too bad.
Yeah.
waguttergirl.com.
Yeah.
So what can we see from the moon? Your truck?
Well, yeah. And my truck's not in my website. We're working on revamping the website because that was the very first one I got.
Yeah.
But I'm still working on, we're going to be redoing everything on the website.
I see your little animated, or your animation gutter girl here. What's up with the holes in the pants?
So I always wear.
Let me see. Oh, yes, you do too.
That's me.
That's going to be out of style someday,
Yeah, but I will always bring that back to.
And I see a little video here. It says, gutter girl of the Tri-Cities shares her story of strength, integrity. So that must be your son there on your video too, huh?
Yes. Yeah.
Nice. And how
Yeah.
old's he now? 12?
He's gonna be 12. Yeah.
Wow, awesome, nice.
Oh, yeah.
So you guys do gutter installation, gutter repair, cleaning and maintenance,
Mhm.
you know, all that stuff. How many crews are you running right now?
I have 2.
2? So are they both doing everything, or do you have one crew doing something and the other doing something else?
One doing cleanings and one doing the installations.
Okay, so your cleaning crew, do you keep them busy pretty well all the time?
Yeah, we do quite a bit of cleanings.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, since I started, there's a lot of companies that will do the installation part here anyways, because
Yeah.
that's where most of the money is, not in the cleanings. But
Yeah.
being an insurance agent, I understand how important it is for people to maintain their gutters.
Yeah.
And so that's something I always tell my clients, you know, we do the cleanings, so just call us so that we can get you on the schedule.
You know, you say there's more money in doing the installs, and I'm not going to disagree with you, but you know, the dollar volume is high, but you know, if you get a good gutter cleaning crew, I mean, they can do a lot of work, and
Yeah.
there's like zero materials.
Yeah.
And I've had my gutter cleaning crew come home some days with more money than the install crew, it seems.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the cleanings, but like I said, here in our area, there's not everyone that does gutter installations, they focus on installations. They won't even go back to do a cleaning. I just did for a client that someone else had done the gutters on it, and they did like a whole 70-foot run. And instead of them putting 2 downspouts, one on each end, they put one in the middle, a short one.
Ah.
So we had to replace that section, redo, you know, install downspouts, you know, one on each. And then I guess she was calling this company for like 6 months because she needed a clean, and they could never call her back because a lot of people here local, they're like, oh, we don't want to do cleanings.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's the same with, you know, minor repairs, small repairs, and so on. I saw one of the gutter Facebook groups this week, they were talking about, you know, someone asked, do you do gutter cleanings? And I just really think gutter cleanings and repairs are a key part of a gutter business. And it brings in so much work too. That's the other thing. Like, you're right. So many guys out there installing, they don't want to be bothered with a $200 job or $250 job. They just don't want to be bothered. But you can do like 10 of those a day if you line it up properly.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times you're in and out in half an hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I like cleanings and repairs and leaf guards. Those are favorites.
Yeah. Yeah. Adding the leaf guard, like doing a cleaning with the leaf guard. Oh, money.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I got to ask you, so what did you think of Gutter-Con?
It was so much fun. I waited till the last minute because I wasn't sure. And that was one of the things. I'm glad you didn't tell me I was the only girl going, because I would have signed.
You wouldn't have come.
No, I would have been because I'm usually really shy, but like once I'm in, like, it goes away.
You're shy? What?
Yeah. I know.
What are you talking about?
I'm an introvert at home, when it comes to work. So
wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was so much fun. I am so looking forward to the next one.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear you say that.
Better. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. You know, we had some good extracurricular activities, of course. You know, we had the hockey game, and we had our pub night with the comedians, and what was the other thing we did? Oh, did you go to Red Rocks?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wasn't that awesome?
It was so much fun, yes.
Yeah, I know. So what and what did you think about the speakers? Like, I mean, what was the big takeaway for you?
I love that there was so much about pricing, that was
Yeah,
talked about. I feel like even in our area, I mean, we all know materials have been crazy expensive. I look back at prices that I was paying before COVID for materials, and now it's just, I mean, there's really not much else we can do but just keep
yeah,
working. In the area, there's a lot of companies that pay people under the table and don't charge like, what a normal business, because we have workers comp, we have all the things that to take care of our employees. And I don't
and
know.
capes. You have to pay for capes too.
Yes,
It's all part of the expenses, right?
so there's a lot of expenses that come with owning a business. And, I just feel like those companies that are just underbidding and just giving away their work is just, that I don't think they will make it
Yeah, they won't.
just because they're
Yeah,
getting, a foil for a pound. So, they're doing like 450 a foot here. There's really not much that they're making. So
yeah. I don't know how that and some of those guys might be watching us right now, but
yeah,
I don't know how they do it, and I don't know why they would do it. I guess I know why they would do it. If they don't have the work lined up, they just feel they got to go to work for something. I mean, they're really just working for a paycheck. That's all it is.
yeah,
You know.
yeah. But I mean, in the long run, I feel like doing things the right way is always going to be the
Mhm.
best policy. For me to go to my job sites and to see my guys smiling and knowing that they make a good wage where they can take care of their families with,
Yeah.
like, that brings me joy to know that I'm able to help them in that way.
Yeah.
And they take care of my clients,
Yeah.
very well.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Good. I gotta ask you, do you make them wear capes?
I don't, but I don't, but I think we are gonna do like a little video of
Yeah.
them wearing capes. They kind of joke around about it.
You should do it. Absolutely.
They were joking around about that the other
Yeah.
day, and we just need to do it. They
Yeah.
get a lot of the times they show up to job sites and they're like, "Oh, I hired her because I thought there was gonna be girls."
That was going to be my next question. Do you have any other gals working with your crew?
I don't know.
I had a gal working for me a couple years ago, and she was a trooper. She did everything the guys did. Like,
Yeah.
it was a little tougher with the bigger ladders, but
Yeah.
she climbed up and she didn't miss a beat. I'll tell you that. She tried real hard.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I would love to, I've had girls work for me before and they've
Mhm.
done a job.
Nice.
So I'd love to find a few girls too,
Mhm.
out at the job.
Good.
Yeah.
So what's the future for Gutter Girl in Washington? Like what's your big hurdles that you've got to overcome over the next couple of years?
I think one of the biggest hurdles has been, my story. A lot of people here where we live and even surrounding areas have heard of my story and how I got started with this gutter company. So
Mhm.
I will have people calling me like, I don't care what you charge me. I just want to support you. So like they call me, they don't even ask me for an estimate. They just want me to go do the work for them. And
Mhm.
so finding the right people to expand into others, one of the things that I, look forward to doing within the
Mhm.
next year. So, I really want to expand my brand into the Seattle area, because we have gone to Seattle to do installations out there 4 hours
Really?
a week.
Wow.
Yeah, but a lot of people have heard, of my story, and I'm very vocal about how I got started and why I got started. And I share with people because I want to encourage people that even if you lose it all for a season, or like even if you take a break from where you're at in life, that if you work hard enough, you can come back and you can rebuild what was lost. So.
Yeah, oh, it's good advice. And I guess, is your ex still running his business?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. And I guess it's probably not, you don't probably think too much about, what he's doing. You're probably more focused on what you're doing, I guess, right?
Yeah, I know what kind of service I provide and the quality that I provide my clients with. So I don't worry. Like we've seen each other at the same job site, bidding for the same work. And I mean, I've had to go and fix work that he's done before. So it's, people might get a really, really good deal. But at the end of the day, I'm like, you guys will call me in a year or two. And I do get a lot of calls, to come out and what he did. So
yeah, cool.
there's, if you do quality work, you will always have work no matter what.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Yeah. It may not be backed up 4 or 5 months, but you'll always have something to do for sure.
Yeah.
Good. Well, listen, I'm so glad that I met you. I have one little quick other story to say, and I know you and I laughed our heads off at Gutter-Con about this, but my daughter, who was helping me at Gutter-Con, she's kind of in charge of the audio and the video and recording everything. And I don't know how you found out about it, but I think it came from Megan Likes. She was up helping my daughter, and you have to have passwords for all this stuff. And hey, one of my main go-to password for anything to do with the company is Gutterboy. And Megan must have told you about this, right?
You did.
So I don't know. There's probably a lot of other gutter boys out there, but I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool. We're gonna have to do a cave, Gutterboy.
Absolutely. Like, you won't believe what's going to happen at GutterCon 2022. Like, it's going to be incredible.
I'm so excited.
You wait and see what I'm going to do. Okay, well, listen, Marci, so happy that I met you at GutterCon, and I'm so glad that we got a chance to do this little interview. I hope everyone else enjoyed it too. So I guess the other thing I like to say to other people that are watching this is if you have a story to tell, just shoot me a line. I'm doing one of these interviews every week, and I'm focusing on people that came to GutterCon right now. I plan on doing an interview with every one of the people that came to the conference, and just it's kind of cool just to hear about how we're all gutter people, but everyone has a different story, just like you. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, thanks so much, Marci.
It was good again.
Okay.
And I wait for GutterCon again. I hope everyone in the group will join us next time, because
I think it's going to be, I really expect that it's probably going to be like double the size. I hope it is. I mean, we had, the one thing I'll say is that the people that came, it was such a good group of people.
Yeah.
Like, they all wanted to be there. They all had something to say, to contribute, and they wanted to be there. They were gung-ho about this. And, it being our first time too, it's tough to, say, oh, come. It's, like, you have nothing to go by, right? But I think, everyone that came had a great time, and I think it's going to be a great time next year too. So.
Yes, I agree. We look forward.
Super. Well, thanks so much, Marci.
Have a good day.
You
Take
too.
care. Bye-bye.